Everyone's doing AI content completely wrong, but we're going to share with you how we were able to make $20,000 doing this instead. Today, Quanda and I we're going to shatter some of the biggest myths that coaches, service providers, and business owners believe about using AI to grow their business. So if you're using AI to post more but not profit more, then this is for you. Quanda, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, welcome in everybody. Happy Tuesday. Super excited to be here. Happy summer, because I don't think the last time we were live was the summer. The last time we were live, it was storming over here. Now the heat index is like 106, 109. So yeah, happy summer, y'all. Hope you're out living your best life. For those just joining, my name is Quonda Renee, and I am an organic marketing strategist. That's just a fancy way to say that I help people get visibility and sales by using social media without paying for ads. And I'm super excited to be here. It's always a good, nice vibe, nice girl time. Star comes with her well prepared script, and I just come and just, and I just come.
It's so funny. I almost asked you today, do you want to do the hook? I feel like I'm hogging it. Maybe she wants to do it.
It's all yours, girl. High five.
That is so funny. Yes. Well, thank you all for joining us. I am Shamara Star Cox, TV producer and marketing coach. My goal is to help 6 and 7 figure business owners create binge-worthy content that gets you seen and gets you paid. That is the goal without having to pay for ads. You can if you want to, but it's so much better to do it the organic way. Both me and Kwanda have been doing this for some time, and we were able to grow our business, grow our content, grow just a lot of things. We grew ourselves as well just by doing it this way. I'm excited for this conversation because talking about AI is always fun. And then also sharing like some insider secrets about it is always fun too. So we can actually just jump right in and let's talk about. I have like lots of different topics here. Why are most coaches using AI? Wait, what? Why most coaches are using AI and it's just recycling noise over and over again?
I think what a lot of people are doing wrong is they're getting prompts from other people that are going viral. Before I prompt, I let ChatGPT know, or I keep on the forefront who it is that I want to target and what my call to action is going to be or what I'm offering. So all of that makes sense. When you just find a generic prompt or you prompt it very generic, you're going to get a generic answer. And that's where a lot of business owners and coaches are missing it, is because you don't give it as much details as possible. Remember, AI is not a magician. It's just a tool, right, that can help us get further. But we got to give it as much information as possible if you want to get good results and results that's going to speak to your person. Because I can easily copy a prompt that I see go viral here on YouTube or on TikTok, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work for my person. I would have to break that prompt down and speak directly to my person. So I think the clarity and who the message would be for, who the prompt is for, keeping them in the forefront. Because sometimes too, you can see somebody do a video or see somebody's landing page and you know it's AI and you be like, that don't sound like them, because it's not them. You want to chime?
Yes, that is so good. But I sent you a private message if you want to read that. Private message. No, I sent it while you were talking because then I figured you could read it while I was talking. So
I was so nervous. I was like, is my something showing?
oh
Something.
no, you're fine. No, you're totally fine. I was just thinking ahead. I was like, let me
Sorry.
it's fine.
I live live. It's so unscripted.
I feel like it's more laughter than tips. Like I feel like every time we just like last week we had to battle the storm. Well, you had to battle the storm. This week is private chats. It's okay. But I really love what you shared, and I want to take it back. Like, even before we give it that prompt, a lot of coaches and business owners don't know that they should prompt their ChatGPT a particular way before giving it any types of prompts, right? And this is something I learned about 2 years ago when I first started using social media. When I started using AI, is actually telling Chat or whoever it is that you're using, Claude, Centra, Star. I should come out with my own AI. I can name it
That'd
Star.
be cool.
Oh, I can name. Oh, get ready. Star Quanda.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Right? Okay, so whatever you're prompting, even before you start asking it questions, you actually want to tell your AI to take on the mind of something specific. right?
Yeah.
So whenever I'm working with my clients and I'm showing them how to use it for social media marketing, I always tell chat, you can tell it to Centra because I have a client right now who uses Centra. And I told her, give it this prompt to take on the mind of a social media marketeer who specializes in content creation, specializes in sales, specializes in building large audiences and building deep relationships. If
Mm,
you do not give it like a particular context, it'll start pulling from anywhere. And
yeah.
that's also why it sounds super generic too. But if you do, and I do that with every channel, if I am hiring people, I'm like, take on the mind of a master HR person, right? If I'm doing sales, take on the mind of a master seller. So I do that with everything. One time I wrote the eulogy for my aunt's funeral. And I definitely told AI, take on the mind of like a funeral director or something like that. So it could write a really great eulogy. So, but that's the first step to me for everything. And then once you do that, then you start giving it all the other prompts because now it's going to just pull from that resource. And that has really helped me for sure.
Yeah, so I've done that on YouTube. I was helping somebody build their channel out, and I told the Chat GPT to pretend to be somebody that used to work for Mr. Beast. And then I asked it for to give me titles, to give me thumbnails, to give me descriptions, and I would give all the call to actions that I want to add in the description. But I would literally take the transcript of that video and give it to chat as well. But that is a good point, is telling it who you want it to be,
Oh,
to get
that's so
better
good.
results.
I don't think anyone ever thought to tell ChatGPT to take on the mind of someone who works for Mr. Beast's team. Like that, when you had shared that with me, I was like, oh, I need to do that. I did mine. I didn't do Mr. Beast. I did Brendan Kane
Okay.
because he took some time to study hooks and he's just so good at that. And now I have a specific tab on ChatGPT that is only for hooks. And I don't do anything else with that in that tab. It's just give me hooks, give me YouTube titles, give me hooks, give me YouTube thumbnails. That's all I want because I don't want it to. Because sometimes ChatGPT has a brain fart. Like for a long time, it's doing good, then it starts giving you something totally different, and you're like, "What in the? Where did you get this from?" And I always got to be like, "Let's bring it back. Do you remember who my dream clients are? Do you remember?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, you're right, Star."
The interesting thing about that is, since I've been doing this YouTube one, I keep having to create new chats because for some reason it eventually crashes. And I don't experience that in any of the other chats I created, but for some reason when it comes to the YouTube one, it crashes. So I have to create multiple ones. But I am seeing results. Like I think their channel had like 8,000 or something subscribers. We're like 400 away from 10,000. So it works,
Oh,
or
I
at
love
least it's
that.
working.
I love that. And if you all are tuning in right now, you can feel free to write in a chat. Let us know that you're there. If something we say stand out to you, let us know. We'll shout you out. Put your comment on the screen. And then if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions too. We have been in business for some time using all of these marketing strategies to grow our business. We help clients now to be able to grow their business with these same strategies. So you never know. The question you ask may be the thing that takes you to six figures or seven figures, but you won't know till you ask it. Hey,
Yeah.
princess, how you doing? So I love that you shared that and you talked about how sometimes it crashes. I remember, so I have a tab specifically for my podcast where it will give me titles and descriptions, and everything will be going fine. I will just like I got it to a point where all I have to write is, all right, give me another one, and I'll just drop like the information that it needs to do. But then some point, for some reason, it just started acting up, and it would write the descriptions and the titles completely off. And I'm like, where are you getting this from? Sometimes I think that my chat GBT be a little bit possessed, just a little bit. And I want to get the holy oil and be like, in the name of Jesus, I need you to come back to life. Come out of that. No. You heard that?
That's a good point. AI does not have the Holy Ghost for all my Christians out there. So we got to depend on it to a certain extent. Okay.
I just really picture myself like delivering my chat GBT. Come out of there, spirit of divination. Get out there right now. That
Oh,
is
I was
so
gonna,
silly.
try that.
You gonna try to deliver your chat GBT?
It ain't gonna be me, but somebody's gonna try it.
And they're gonna be like, "Why should be like another YouTube video? I tried to deliver ChatGPT, and this is what happened."
It's gonna be somebody. It's gonna be a Pharisee that does that.
Not a Pharisee. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we're talking. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just saying, hey, princess, I'm a little late to chat.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so we're talking about why most business owners and coaches get it wrong when using AI. And we talked about how prompting, like they're just prompting it incorrectly. And that's the reason why they're not using it right. For some people, like one common myth that some people have is that AI is going to make everything better. Like once I put the prompt in there, my content's going to go viral. I'm going to get all these sales. And I think they forget that AI can't do any of that for you. The only thing it can do is give you strategies. It can write like you, like it can do those things, but you still have to do the work to get the sales, and you still have to be the one to create the content so that it could potentially go viral. And so, with me keeping that in mind, my goal isn't to go viral. My goal is to always speak to my dream client no matter what I do, even when I'm working with my clients, because chat will just revert to very generic stuff that it's sharing. And then I have to say, hey, does this speak to so and so's dream client? And then it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. And then goes back to speaking to the dream client. So to me, virality doesn't matter. As long as the messaging is strong and it speaks to the dream client, you can get sales. Because I was able to monetize my content for maybe 2 to 3 years without going viral, and the videos that got the lowest views are the videos that made the most money. So you really don't have to go viral. You don't have to have a lot of views. You just need to specifically target your dream clients.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And it also goes back to you really have to train the AI to learn your voice, right? When I first started AI, I started out doing images. One of the first platforms I invested in was Mid Journey. And at first, I would just type black woman, da 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 da, and it would give me somebody that looked like what AI wanted to look like: nappy hair, big lips, really big boobs. I had to train the AI that that's not how we all look. You know what I'm saying? It's biased. You have to also remember that it is biased. It's basically scraping everything it could find in the internet within seconds and throwing out something good or lack thereof. So just knowing that you always have to train it. You always have to train AI. It can be a shortcut, but even that shortcut needs to be kind of told what to do and how to do it. I got better the more I learned to say, okay, and now I got to be specific. I want to say, I don't want her to have an afro. I want her hair to be, a certain type of way. You got to also tell it about complexions. If you don't mention African American or Latino or Latina, it's automatically going to give you a Caucasian person. So it is created with biases, and just even with art, the same way it's created with biases when you're going to type an email or whatever. It's just going to give you something very basic and generic. Your job as the business owner, as the coach, is to tell it what you need it to do for you. And the more details you give it, the better.
I think that's the part that's missing is the more details. Because even when I'm working with my mom and I'm showing her what to do, she'll just put like one sentence in there, and I have to tell her be really specific. I have paragraphs for chat because I don't want chat to get it wrong. I mean, it still does, but I wanted to know specifically like this is what I want.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there's a reward system for chat too. Because whenever he gets it right, I'd be like, yes, chat, you got it right. And it'd be like, thank you. I'm so happy that you like what I wrote.
And it performs better when the more positive feedback you give it, it will go harder for you. It's like your assistant on steroids.
That's funny because that's with anything. Like if you're like I used to be a plant mom. My plant passed away.
Oh,
It's okay.
sorry.
I'll get another one. But if you speak to your plant in a positive way, it will grow faster. It'll grow better. If you speak to your children in a positive way, they will grow up and feel love. So it makes sense that chat will do the same thing too.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. So the image that you use to create on chat, do you have it available so you can share it with everyone?
I'm pretty sure I can find the first image or just in general, any image.
Oh, any image that because you've evolved so much now. But if you had that first image, that'd be great to do like a side by side. Like this is what it first looked like. This is what it looked like now.
Might
Because
not
the
have
one you
the
sent
first,
this
but
week was like dope.
okay, let me see. I can look up my computer.
Okay, so while she's looking on her computer so that she can share what the images look like, she shared one with me. She asked me if I ever use chat in order to create images. So I use chat and Canva to create a specific image that I needed. And I don't think that it did so great. And then when she showed me her image, I was like, oh, shoot, my chat played me. It straight up played me. Like the image that chat created for me wasn't even centered. And I was just like, nah, I didn't know you could do all of that. So hopefully she can find it, and then you'll be able to see.
I'm
You'll
trying to figure out how you upload it. That would be my
oh,
issue.
if you hit present, I think you can hit present, and then
Oh, image file. Okay, I see it.
yeah, and then I can change. Once you present, I can change our the way we look, and then people can see it. Okay, multiply with Marion. How you doing? Says using the voice feature is amazing. I be talking away. Yes. Okay, Marion. Let me tell you something. Oh, okay, I see it. Let me tell you something, Marion. I used the voice feature one time, and do you know that after me talking for so long, everything deleted? Like I was so mad. I was like, "Here, chat. Here's what I want you to do," and I gave it so many details, and then it deleted before I could hit send. And I did it 2 times, and that's when I thought that my chat just didn't like me. Okay, let's see. There we go.
Yeah, so I made that in ChatGPT maybe like a year or two ago. In fact, I created a whole freaking journal using those images and sold the journal when I used to sell journals. So yeah, but I had to learn how to prompt. I had to tell it light makeup, earrings, her wearing an oversized sweater, her nails a certain way, her journaling, what to say on her shirt. So you have to give it as much details as possible. But the possibilities are endless, and it's growing now than it was years ago when I first started. I started whenever Midjourney first came out. That's when I started, but I was starting to create clothes, to create outfits, so that I can take to my designer and she can make them for me. I had a outfit go viral maybe like 2 years ago, and I showed the image. This is what I made in AI, and then this is how my designer did it. I gotta find that video too, because that'd be cool to kind of show too, as well.
Yeah, I mean, like the details in this one is so amazing. I was just like, what? I didn't even know you could do that. So then I started asking Quonda, like, what are the prompts you use? And she was like, girl, it don't matter what prompts you use. You just got to be specific.
That's
Right? I love
that's,
it. I want to share the next one this one.
that's me.
Right, it does. It looks just like you. So y'all think that looks like Quanda? Drop a one in the chat if you think that looks like Quanda. If you think that it doesn't look like Quanda, drop a two in the chat. If you drop a two, it means you're hating, but it's cool.
Oh yeah, but I was really into AI art when it first was developed. I was a nerd. I was really into it. I mean, I'm still into it now, but I've learned other things that you can do inside with different AI platforms.
I feel like with this, what's the point of a graphic designer?
Listen, a lot of these images you can use. You can, like, if you're somebody, you got a t-shirt company, you can make t-shirt designs. You can do journals, devotionals. There's so much stuff. There are people that get this printed and sell acrylic paints, acrylic art style paints. There's so much stuff you can do with it. People have whole businesses on Etsy just taking these images and making them your own. Now there is a little controversy around it because you have artists out here saying,
That was gonna be my question. I was about to say, do you think it's gonna put artists out of business? Because this is wild.
I don't think it's going to put them out of business. I think they need to use it as a way to enhance what they already created. So, if, like, you somebody that sketch, you can literally take your sketch, put it into AI, and AI can put that thing together. And what used to take you weeks and months to do, you'll have in seconds. So, I think it's all about perspective as well. I think it's all about perspective.
Yeah, I think that's really dope. Like and because there's a lot of people who think that we're gonna lose our job. Well, not us. We're CEOs. If you're a CEO, you don't got nothing to worry about. Okay,
I'm
but
the visionary. Okay, I run this boat.
I run pro, and AI works for me, which needs to be the mindset of everyone. Even if you are an employee, AI should be working for you. Like my old company, they are actually asking everyone in the job to let them know how they can use AI in their position. Now, if you are someone where you feel like I'm not an early adopter and I haven't been using AI yet, you're going to get left behind. The same thing happened 5 years ago with video content. When
Mhm.
video content really started blowing up, people were like, oh, well, I'm not going to do video content. I'm not going to use video content. And we're 5 years later and video content is still going strong. It's actually getting even stronger. Same thing's going to happen with AI. And let me just talk to the Christians real quick. Do we have any Christians on the line? Let's just talk to the Christians real quick, right? If you're not a Christian, just hold on tight. We're going to come back to you. But let me not put me in it because I don't be doing this. Some of y'all, right?
I love that.
Some of y'all Christians need to stop calling everything the devil.
Yeah.
Not everything is the devil. Like AI came out, and some of the older people in my ministry was sending me messages talking about, yeah, because AI is the devil. I'm like, y'all thought the same thing about fashion. You thought the same thing about the TV industry, about the film industry, and look at y'all now fighting to be on television, fighting to be in the fashion industry and look cool and hip. Like God allows us to have these things so that we can actually be the head and not the tail.
Yeah.
Behavior is calling everything the devil. Like that just doesn't. First of all, the devil can't create anything. So if we know that he can't create, the only thing he could do is pervert. That means clearly God is giving the ideas to someone to create. Now, if it's perverted, that's because the enemy did that. But y'all gotta stop doing that. Because I see so many Christians, especially business owners, when they cripple themselves. Oh, I'm not gonna use AI. I don't like when it does this. I don't like when it does that. And I'm like, so now you're just gonna work twice as hard for no reason when AI allows you to do it in 2 seconds?
And we got to be real. Everything in which we use has some form of AI in it. If you have a phone, there's some AI in that. If you go to the bank and you use the ATM, that's AI. AI is not a new concept. It's just exploded in its availability to us as consumers is readily available. But we've been using AI for a long time. The remote control, all of that stuff is AI. And if we are believers and we keep kind of staying behind the curve and missing the mark, that's why a lot of them aren't coming through with the wealth transfer. Money is stagnant. They're not moving because God is really allowing things. He's leveled the playing field, right? And so now you have an opportunity to get ahead. Now you have an opportunity to make more money than you've ever made in your life. You're just going to be on the sidelines and calling everything the devil. Well, we're all using the devil in some type of way. If you take money out of the bank, you're using the devil. If you be talking to Siri, you talking to the devil. So it's just like that mindset. And that's how we almost missed, or basically kind of missed, the TV era, because the TV networks, they went to the churches, they went to the pastors, and they were like, hey, this probably like in the 60s or 70s or something like that. Hey, would you like a spot on our network? The Christians was like, nope, it's the devil. They went to the psychics. Hey, would you like a spot? Absolutely. When the Christians finally got it together, they said, hey, can we get that spot back? They said, yes, but now you got to pay for it. So it was free, but now you got to pay for it. And back then, Christian television was not cheap to get on, or television in general was not cheap. So if somebody was offering it to you for free, and then you missed that opportunity, yet the psychic is like, hey, I'm gonna get exposure, get in front of more people. It's all about mindset.
Now I know why Miss Cleo blew up so big.
Comment on for your free.
Yo, that was the worst patois I ever heard in my life. But them people was eating up like she's so Jamaican. I'm like, she's not even close.
Yeah,
Turns out she wasn't even Jamaican at all. But we all the Jamaicans do. We were all looking at her like, okay.
But she's making money.
Well, now she in jail, so I don't know if she. No, I think she got out. She died?
Yeah, I think she died of cancer or something.
Oh, you know what? I think I heard that.
Yeah.
Not funny, but I just think
it's just, you said jail, I say death.
No matter what, it just did not end that well.
Right.
And she couldn't see that coming, but that's a whole other story. So there's two things that I want. Oh, actually, what you were just talking about made me think about a scripture where it was the parable of the wedding banquet, where the master prepares this wedding banquet and tells his servants to go out and invite the people, right? Invite all these different types of people, and all those people said no. So then the host was like, forget y'all. I'm going to go invite everyone else. I don't care. They could be in the gutters. They could be in the uttermost. I don't care. I want to invite everyone else. And that's exactly what the TV industry did. Right. And then the people came back like, hey, we do want to come to the banquet. And it's like, no, the doors are closed now. Right. So like God does give us a grace period. Yes. And we really should hop on it. Like in 2020, when God told me to start creating content full time, it didn't make any sense to me because I was a TV producer. He told me to quit my job, hadn't worked in nearly a year at that point. And I'm thinking that my next step should be for me to apply for jobs. But that's not what he told me to do. He was just like, start creating content full time. Had I not started creating content full time, I wouldn't have gone viral. And then I wouldn't have started my business. I would have been crying to him like, Lord, when are you going to make a way for me? And sometimes we're crying to God, asking Him to make a way for us when He already did. It's just your turn to take action. Like
Yeah,
He can't make you do it. You have to decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
yeah, that's
There was
good.
some, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say no. That's
Yeah.
true.
Exactly. Okay, let me stop talking to the Christians now because y'all are like, I feel uncomfortable. Okay. But there was something else that I wanted to bring up because you mentioned it. You said there is a wealth transfer that's happening, right? So I want to talk about that. Like, what is this wealth transfer? What does it look like? And how can we use AI in order to accelerate it? I was like, what's the word? Accelerate it.
Oh, you want me to? You want me to
Oh, I
skip?
mean, I can start with,
I'm sorry. Live
no,
TV.
you really sat there like, yeah, let us know, sir.
I thought you had something you were just gonna go with it. I was just gonna chime off of you. Oh yeah, so the wealth transfer. I believe, and this is just my opinion, I believe that the wealth transfer is already here. But I believe that the wealth transfer is only going to be for those who are in position and who are ready to receive and who are in alignment with whatever. The AI, you still could be an early adopter. We're still very early with AI. It's only been going on probably big, probably for the last maybe 3 years or so, like that. You could do apps, right? You could use AI to create different type of apps. Anything that you're going to do to solve somebody else's problem, they're going to pay you money for it. So I would say learn what you can learn while it's readily available. You have so many YouTube content, and I'm sure there are AI coaches. People could show you different things to do in your business when it comes to AI, or if you want to create something. So you just got to move. You just got to move and figure out where your lane is and operate in that place.
I was pouring water.
Oh, so sorry.
I was like, I hope she doesn't stop talking while I'm pouring this water.
I'm sorry, girl.
No, I 100% agree with you. So I want to share a story, then I'll give my point, right? So I remember when I first started my business, this was just a couple of years ago, it's like 4 years ago. And nope, actually, this was in 2020. I didn't start my business yet. But I remember I had quit my job and I was helping people to be able to hear God speak, how they can journal his thoughts through prophetic journaling. And people would want to pay me money to do this. And I'm like, no, I can't take your money. God's going to take care of me. Right. And God was actually showing me that my heart wasn't right with having that type of mindset because he was taking care of me through people. And then when I started my business, he started to show me, look, I want to funnel money through your business, but I can't do that if you don't have a business. Right.
Wow.
So there's some of us where we believe that God's still dropping manna from heaven. Like, oh, God, just send me $50,000. And God's like, if I sent you $50,000 from heaven, how would you claim that on your taxes?
Ooh.
Just that's what he said to me. Like, you can't claim it on your taxes, and now everyone's looking at you like a drug dealer because you can't be like, God sent this to me, because they're gonna look at you like you crazy, right? So what is he doing? He's telling people to start businesses so he can send the money through your business. And so in 2023, I received a prophetic word that said God's going to send wealth or something like that. I can't remember the exact word, but like God's going to send wealth through Rose. Right now, the name of my business is called Carmel Rose. So when I received that word, I was like, oh, okay. In 3 months, I made $30,000 in my business.
Wow.
I was like, oh, but if I did not have a business, how is he going to send the money? Right.
Yeah.
That's a way that he's actually transferring the wealth to us. Some people think the wealth transfer means that the wicked will no longer have the money and it's only going to the good people, right? Maybe that's the case. I don't know. It could also be that the wicked is being converted into Christians. Like, you have no idea. But the point is that God is giving you an idea so that you can set it up in the earth so that he can funnel money through it legally so you can give onto Caesar what is due to Caesar. But if you don't have a business that's set up, it's going to be really hard for you to experience that wealth transfer. And if you do experience it, you're going to get taxed so heavily that it's not even funny.
Yeah, just to add to that, a part of my testimony, I said when I was believing God to go to another level, my finances, break the spirit of poverty, an angel did knock at my door and say, "Hey, here's the money." God gave me an idea, a seed that I had to plant and then water and show up and do the work and be consistent and trust God, but work and show up and do whatever I need to do. Like when I first hit my first six figures is because I was in the field, right? I was doing the work. I was showing up. God gave me an idea. I accepted the idea. I ran with it. I learned what I needed to learn. I hired coaches, whatever I needed to do to make sure that I was honoring what God gave me. And He blessed it more than I've ever expected. So that imagination or that false belief that it's just going to miraculously come, somebody just going to give you $1 million. A lot of times He gives you a seed, and your job is to plant the seed. If you're somebody and you're lazy, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna
That's
miss
good. Every time you say something, a new scripture comes to mind because I'm like the parable of the talents. When he gave that third servant the one talent and he was lazy, he did miss it. Like he buried the talent as opposed to planting the talent so that it can actually grow. When he buried it and when it came time for the master to ask him for the return on his investment, the servant was like, I was scared. That was it. I was scared. And the master didn't go, oh, you were scared? Let me give you 3 more months. He was like, no, take from him what I have given him and cast him out where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. And I say that to the people where God has given you an idea, whether it's a book idea, a business idea. He's told you to go live. He's told you to create content and you're not doing it because of fear. God's not looking at you like, oh, look at my child. They're just so afraid. No, he's looking at you like that third servant, you wicked and lazy. He never said you wicked and fearful servant. He said you wicked and lazy servant. Right. And I'm going to cast you out. Now, I'm not saying you're going to lose your salvation. That cannot happen. I'm just talking about the stuff that he is giving you. Somebody else is going to end up doing it. You're not going to reap the benefits of it. And then you're going to be asking God, how come my life is still like this? But anyway, that's not to any of you who are watching right now. The rest of you are actually building your businesses. You're seeing results and you're here so that you can actually scale your business.
I was about to go into another story about the Dr. Tracy Lynn, but I'm gonna keep it moving.
I was going to ask you to bring her up. That's so funny.
Well, if you say it, I'm gonna bring her up. So a couple years ago, I did this interview with Dr. Tracy Lynn. She is the owner of Tracy Lynn Jewelry. She got a prophetic word that she was supposed to write a book. I believe there was a book deal attached to this book too. And she did all the things we do when we get a prophetic word. Oh, yes, God did it for me. She cried, she danced, she rolled around. But guess what? She never wrote the book. One day she goes in a bookstore. She sees a book. The book has the exact title that God told her. So she goes and opens the book. She sees the chapters. Everything is similar to what God told her to do. She missed an opportunity for this book and this deal because I don't even know. I don't even know if it was procrastination. She was already a millionaire by then, but she still missed an opportunity, y'all. You missed the opportunity. God will give it to somebody else. Don't play with God. Y'all be thinking, oh, well, God just love me. He just he gonna look out for me. Okay. Why you going in the bookstore and somebody else got that $1 million offer, that $1 million check?
That was her opportunity to make some more millions.
Exactly.
And she might have just got comfy or she might have just forgot. That's what be happening. People be forgetting what God told them to do. And I'm like, let me never forget.
Yeah, listen.
I don't want that to cost me millions.
Listen. And it too, like if you have something and it's flowing and that money is coming, you ain't looking at the book. You like, whatever, let me just stick with what's flowing. So yeah.
That could have been a next level of authority for her. And now she missed that. So that's actually good. I really love when you share that. I love when you share that story. Okay, the broke millionaire. What an oxymoron. That is such an oxymoron. Wait, broken what? Okay, whatever. Says new to the channel. What do you guys talk about?
We talk about marketing. Well, today we're talking about marketing. We're talking about how we made over $20,000 using AI. We're just talking about things AI marketing. And then we've been talking a little to the Christians to get them to step their game up. If you know, you know. Okay.
I have so many things that went through my mind, but I'm not going to detour this episode just to go say what's on my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yes. So those are things that we're talking about. Today we're actually sharing how we made $20,000 using one ChatGPT prompt, right? So we shared 2 prompts at the very beginning of this live. Just in case y'all didn't catch it, you might want to catch the replay so that you can actually see what those prompts are that we use in order to do this. And then we talked about like what a wealth transfer looks like and how you can use AI in order to do that. But here's something that I do want us to move into, which is some common myths that coaches, service providers, and business owners have when it comes to ChatGPT. Now, here's the thing: we could share it, sure, but instead, I decided to go to Chat and ask Chat what were the common myths that people have when it comes to building their business and using it for content. And it gave me 10. So I probably won't read all 10, but I'll read a couple of them, right? And then I want to hear your thoughts. And then those of you who are listening too, feel free to share your thoughts with us. Let us know, is that a myth? Did Chat make that up? Because some of these things I was like, I think Chat made that up. Like, ain't nobody going through that. Let me stop joking. Okay, so the first myth that Chat said is AI will save me time and make it perfect. And then Chat says AI is a tool. This is the truth. AI is a tool, not a magic wand. Without strategy, you're just automating. You're just automating noise. So, what are your thoughts on that? AI will save me time and make it perfect.
It definitely will save you time, but it's not going to make it perfect. You still have to tell it what to do. You still have to know who it is you're speaking to in that prompt. You remember how you started off when you said that you tell it who to become or to be, you take the mind of. So that's definitely important. So it will save you time. I will agree with that, but it will not make it perfect. You cannot rely on a chat who doesn't know anything about you or know what you're talking about to give you a perfect response without details.
Exactly. And then on top of that, because I see business owners do this quite often when they have to create content for social media, they'll start prompting Chat, right? And Chat may even give them a wonderful post. And then when they post that video or they post that carousel or whatever, and it doesn't perform, they start thinking, okay, what's wrong with what I'm putting out, right? Because again, the only thing that Chat can do is give you the details, the information, but it is not going to promise you that your content will perform, and it won't show you why it's not performing unless after you post it. And that, or maybe let me say it like this: it's not going to make your content perform. That's the thing, right? So you can post the videos of the scripts that gave you, you can post the carousels, but AI is not going to make your content perform. You're the one who does that, depending on what hashtags you choose to use, the keywords you choose to use, your analysis of your audience behavior and the type of content that they want to consume. That's what makes your content perform. AI cannot do any of that because AI is not human. The only thing it can do is do what you tell it to do. But that's pretty much about it. It don't matter how many times I told ChatGPT, write me a viral post. That post don't go viral because it can't make it do that. So that's really important to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you want me to read the next one?
Yeah, go to the next one.
Okay. So this next myth is AI should write everything for me. AI should write everything for me. So the truth of what ChatGPT said is AI can assist, but your voice, values, and lived experiences still need to lead. Otherwise, your content will sound generic or robotic.
Yeah, it's kind of basically what we've been saying this entire live. You have to give it as much details as possible. You have to tell it what to do. It is your assistant in this case. So, yeah, I agree with the truth, not the myth.
100% agree with you. And so I actually want to ask this question: how can you use your AI? How can you prompt it so that it could have your voice? Right? Because it is possible for it to have your voice. So like, how can you prompt it so that it could have your voice?
Well, what I used to do is I would give it some of my past old blog posts, old emails, anything that showcased my writing and my tone. I would give it that information. Then I would tell it to like mimic what you read or the tone or my sound, and then give me something back. And I noticed I would get good results with doing things like that. But I had to feed it something that I already generated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And that's what I do too. I take my emails and I take my content, and that's what I put in there. But I don't stop there. Right. So this is another thing that I do as well. If there's someone that I like and I like their voice, tone, and style, I'll take that and also say, I want to sound like this. So I've done that a couple of times with Myron Golden's post, Nehemiah Davis post. And there was like one other person. Oh, there was another person who I was following. The way that she wrote her emails were really nice. So you don't have to only give it your voice, right? Because sometimes the way that we speak is different from the way that we write. I don't think a
Absolutely.
lot of people notice that, right? So the way that I write is different from how I speak. When I speak, I'm like straight up from the hood because I am from the hood. So whatever. No, I'm kidding. Ain't no ghetto with me, please.
Come with your hooks. It'd be me that brings the ghetto-ness to the lives, and I'm here for it. But yeah, the way I write is totally different than when I speak. When I speak, I'm speaking with all the African American colloquialisms and all those things. But when I write, I sound like I actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. See, and I nearly went over my head. What I'm talking about. See, for me, I like to write the way that I speak, but sometimes it doesn't come out that way. But I do make sure, because something that I do when I'm talking is I like to include the crowd, include the audience. So I do that in my writing as well. But for the most part, the way I write and the way I speak is different. And you want to make sure that you're prompting chat in a way so that it could sound like you. The other thing is like you're gonna have different the way you sound shows up differently in different situations.
Yeah.
You want that to be reflected in your writing too. So if you're so stuck on I want to go viral, you're not thinking about all those elements and then your content sounds very bland and generic. And then if you're not accustomed to seeing that it sounds bland and generic, that'll be the reason why it's not performing the way that you want it to.
So when people say, "I just got to go viral, just got to go viral," I want to go viral. What is virality going to do? If you get in front of people that are not going to buy, people that are not interested in what you're saying or what you're talking about. You know what I mean? I'd rather get in front of 10 people that need what I'm saying and are going to buy than a million people who are just liking and maybe commenting, but never buy. So I think we have to think about our focus as business owners, as you said, as CEOs. We don't move the same way as content creators, and no shade to content creators, but we're not the same, honestly. We focus on building a business, right? They focus on more so being paid through the platforms. I'm somebody had 3 million followers. Facebook used to pay me real good. Then one day it stopped. So I had to make sure that on the back end, you know what I'm saying, money could still flow and could still come in. And I wasn't so reliant on these platforms. So that's just a little 1 2 1 2 because
I
I,
I 100% agree with you. And so I always teach my clients, you don't just want to go viral, you want to get viral sales while you're at it. Right. So one of my clients, I love talking about her. She's like one of my favorite clients. And she's a career coach. And when she first started working with me, she only had 474 followers. But as she kept working with me, she was able to get one viral video, maybe more than one. But this particular viral video gained her over 40,000 followers on TikTok. And while she was going viral and her following was growing like crazy, her daughter was like super excited for her. And she was like, I don't care. I want to see if they're going to honor the CTA. Like, that's what I really matter. That's what I really care about. Are they going to honor the CTA? And they did. That viral video brought in 10 sales that day, 300 new email subscribers, and she was booked up for 2 months. Like, if you're going to go viral, get the sales while you're at it, because it doesn't make sense for people to just see you and not pay for anything. Right. So, but in order for that to happen, you have to be in position. You have to be ready. Your content should be speaking to your dream clients, but it needs to have a strong call to action so that they could buy. So if any of you are feeling like, man, I'm afraid of selling. I'm afraid that I'm gonna feel icky. I'm gonna sound salesy. I'm gonna feel slimy when I'm selling. That's the thing that you gotta get out of, right? That mindset, you gotta get out of it, because Christina did not feel icky or slimy when her video was going viral and she made 10 sales in one day and then she was booked up for 2 months. She felt like she was actually helping people, right? And the people that she helped that day, they actually sent her a testimonial saying, thank you so much that I finally found you. I needed your help, right? So if I'm going to go viral, I want to get the sales, but I also want to get the testimonials, because my business wasn't created to be the best kept secret. It was created so that the world could know, so I can be a blessing to you. So if you're thinking about going viral, I would just shift it to, let's get viral sales while you're at it. And I teach all my clients that, like, prepare for virality, but prepare for the viral sales so that you're not just going viral. Like, I went viral 4 times and I made this much money from each video. Okay. But now the next time I go viral, I'm going to be making this much money, like lots of money, because my messaging is dialed in. I know what I'm selling and I have my offer attached to each one.
right.
Awesome.
I've been viral so many times. Like, I know how to go viral, right? Like, I just know how to go viral. But in the last couple of years, my intent was, if I'm going to go viral, I'm going to make some money on it as well, and not from the platform, but me selling whatever I was selling at the time. So I think that intentionality definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I want to read what the broke millionaire wrote. I thought this was nice. I love the God element that you guys implement. When I talk to fellow Christians, they think AI is from the devil. I explain to them that it's merely a tool that can be used for good or bad.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's with anything. Inanimate objects, they're only can be used for good or bad based on the person who's using it. So it's
Right.
like use it for wealth and keep it moving. That's
Yeah.
it. Just use it for wealth.
And it's also a good training tool, right? So we know that there are people using it for bad. So we keep feeding it good things to do this and to do that. That'll give it some type of balance.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. All right, so I want to read one more myth and then like we'll probably ask one more question, then we'll just wrap it up. Okay, so we just talked about this. Actually, let me do this one. So the third myth the chat says is more content equals more clients, right? So more content equals more clients. And chat says the truth is AI can help you pump out content, but if it's not strategic, you'll attract the wrong audience or no one at all.
Yeah, I know people that post 5, 10 times a day and they're not making no money. So that's not necessarily true. I mean, I feel like this, if you post something of quality and it's good, that can live on, right? That could be your one post for the day or one post for the week. And you're making sales, you're getting leads. Whereas you're posting 10 times a day and nobody's checking for it. The algorithm is like, y'all doing too much. And it's, what is it? Suppressing your content or whatever. So I think I believe in quality over quantity in regards to that, especially if you're just posting just to post. So I agree with Chat's truth on that one.
Yeah, me too. I feel like the truth was just like so spot on because there are people who will tell you post 3 or 4 times a day, but they won't tell you that your content actually competes against one another. So if I'm posting more 2, 3, 4 times, 10 times, and now it's just competing, maybe one may take off, but the other ones may not do as well, right? So that's one thing. And then the other thing is, I had a client where she was posting 3 or 4 times a day, and it was growing her following on TikTok, which is totally fine, but she wasn't getting sales from it. And I told her, what if you shifted and that you actually started putting out quality content that speaks to your dream clients now, right? What if you went live and you actually made offers on your live video so that you can actually bring in the sales? And I don't know if she did that specifically, but she did come back to me a couple months later and she was like, your strategies worked. I was able to hit 20K months. I said, you better, honey. You better. So it's not about putting out more content until you feel so exhausted, right? Like a lot of us, especially my clients are all over 40, right? So they're not posting 3 or 4 times a day. I am not in my early 20s, so I am not posting 3 or 4 times a day. I tried posting twice a day before, and sis was exhausted. So I leave that for the youngins, let them do that. But instead, I focus on putting out quality content that's actually going to lead to sales. Like that's the most important thing.
Yeah, back in the day when I had a big Facebook page, I used to post 12 times a day.
My
But I
goodness.
had to keep up with the demand of my audience, right? Because back then the algorithm was kind of working with every time you post is going to be like a new person, new audience seeing that. And because I had millions, I had to keep up. Back then, it worked.
Did you have a team though?
I did. That made the difference. I wasn't posting.
Right. Could you imagine if she was like, hey, I gotta create this guy? You'd be burnt out.
My team had it scheduled out. They were getting so good. They would schedule like almost a month out.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, having a team. Okay, see, now correct myself. If you have a team, feel free to post however many times a day you want to. But if it's just you, I wouldn't advise it. I have a team and I still post 3 to 5 times a week. Right now, that's because I have one person doing my content. But maybe if I had like a team of people, like 3 or 4 people, then we'll probably do more. And that one person is managing all my channels actually. So yeah, but I 100% agree with you. Man, the broke millionaire actually deboned my last question I wanted to ask. But this is such a good question. I got to throw it up on the screen. The broke millionaire says, what do you guys sell? What is your business? Do you want to go first?
Sure. So I don't want to identify you as the broke millionaire. I don't know. It just
Let them tell us what that means. Because in my mind, I'm like broken emotions, broken limiting beliefs. Like that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it's an emotional thing or it's a mindset. Like that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us what that means. But my name is Quonda Renee, and I am an organic marketing strategist. I just basically help people get visibility, get sales online using social media without paying for ads. So I am, in short, a marketing coach. That's what I do. I sell marketing packages, boot camps, done for you, one on ones, all that type of thing. I'm your marketing girl.
Love it. Do you want to talk about one on one if somebody wanted to book a strategy session with you?
Sure. So we're getting ready to wrap up. So I'll do my big one. All right, y'all. So I have for this month of July, we're going into July. I have a few slots open. If you were somebody, you have a product, you have a service, and you need marketing behind it, you need a marketing strategy. I have one-on-one 45-minute strategies. We meet for 45 minutes. You tell me about what you got going on, and then I come back and give you a strategy that you can take and kind of do your 1-2-1-2 and go out and grow your business. So I am offering that for the month of July. We'll throw it in the chat so you can, if you're ready to move, you can book me. But it's basically marketing. I will say this: if you're looking for like spiritual guidance and all that, deliverance, I'm not that. This is for business because I be having people reach out to me and they be wanting to do exorcisms and stuff. I don't do that. I'll do an exorcism on your business, that, but not the other stuff.
That was so funny. I wasn't expecting that. Is the prophetic princess still here? She'll help you with that. Is that what she helps with? Right? That's what she does,
Oh
deliverance.
yeah, yeah. She does like deliverance and all that
Yes.
type.
So if you do need help with anything spiritual, you need help with deliverance, the prophetic princess is up in here. Okay. If you're still in here, honey, there she goes. She just laughed in the chat. So I'm actually going to put her on the screen. Y'all follow her. She will help you with your deliverances, your healing. Okay. Quanda will help you with your wealth. So come back to her afterwards. Go to Princess, come back to Quanda. Okay. There's a person for everything that you need.
Yeah, I had to say it. I get a lot of people hit me up thinking that my one-on-ones are going to be that type of thing. And it's not that. I want to help you with your business. I want to help you get $5,000, $10,000 a month more. You know what I mean? Um, yeah.
That was good. That was good. We should do that more often. Because you gotta say who your offer is not for. Like it's clearly not for the person who's looking for deliverance. Okay. So for me, I do help you to create content that sells in 5 days or less. Right. So I put my link up on the screen right there. It's called Content to Cast Challenge. And in the challenge, our goal is to help you to create the content that actually gets you viral sales. Right. Like I've had clients come into the challenge, they've made $750 in just 3 days because they asked one question. Another person got 30 leads overnight because they asked one question. I had another client who came in and she got 60,000 leads 2 weeks after leaving the challenge, right? So some of you are thinking to yourself, these are astronomical results. Yes, because the goal in here is for you to be able to go through the challenge and then get the results that you desire because now you're putting in the work. So there's no fluff in the challenge. It's just 5 days. We're kicking off on July 7th. And our goal is to help you to be able to create the content that your dream clients wants to see and that will get them to buy from you. But the thing is, there are some of you in here where you're accustomed to getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and you're not accustomed to getting it through your content yet. So my goal is to show you how you can actually take what you're doing offline, do it online to reach your audience so that you can actually get your sales. So if you're like, that's something that I want, that's something that I need, join us in the VIP experience at contenttocastchallenge.com. We have 2 levels, VIP and Diamond experience. But if you want VIP, all you have to do is click the first link, the first button that's there on the website. In VIP, you get to join us for 1 hour before the challenge actually starts, asking your questions to help you to grow your business. And it's in those sessions that my clients are able to really take off because they get unstuck. A lot of the myths that they come in with gets broken off of their minds. A lot of the thoughts that they have when it comes to creating content gets broken off of their minds. We don't teach you trending audio. We don't teach you how to hop on trends. We don't teach you how to post 3 or 4 times a day. Instead, we teach you marketing. And more specifically, we teach you Bible marketing secrets. So we show you how Jesus was able to grow his brand and convert his followers into believers. We show you how to do that with your business too. And that's at content2cashchallenge.com. So it's right there on the screen if you want to get access to it.
Did you drop it in the chat?
No, because why would I? Let me, you know what? I should have had it ready to go. I keep saying that to myself, and then
I mean, you have mine in the chat.
because I went to the private chat to quickly grab it because it was there. Okay. So I did have one final question that I wanted to ask, and then we'll just go ahead and wrap up. Unless somebody else has a question in the chat. Oh, Broke Millionaire actually told us what it means. Okay, the broke millionaire basically means projecting a persona of need externally while being extremely wealthy. Okay, I'm gonna let Quonda explain that to me because she looked like she understood that.
No, I can't explain it to you, but I got not what I thought. So.
His name is Lance, by the way, so that's all that matters. Thank you so much. That was a mystery for us, and thank you all for who stood around for that mystery. Okay, final question before we go ahead and wrap up.
I'm sure the audience understands it though.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. How can service providers, coaches, and business owners use AI to generate leads? That was my favorite question that I wanted to ask.
How can, say it again? I'm sorry.
No worries. How can service providers, coaches, and business owners use AI to generate leads?
You can use AI to create DM scripts. If you want to DM people, you can use AI with your create lead magnets. You can use AI for your lives. There's so much stuff you can do with AI to get leads.
Yeah, I was just writing inside the chat. Yep, 100% agree with you. I think the most important thing when it comes to generating leads, I'm just going to share two things. Knowing who you're talking to, because a lead only follows a leader. That's super important. A lead only follows a leader. So if you're showing up shy and scared and I don't want to sound salesy, they're not going to follow you because they're looking for a leader to follow, right? So, so you want to be able to speak directly to them, really clear to them, right? And then the next thing is you want to have a good follow-up process. And I don't think we talk about that quite often. I think oftentimes we talk about, you're going to attract the dream client and they're going to buy from you. Sometimes people say, wait, in their hearts. Like this, yes, this is what I want to do, but then they may go ghost and you're thinking that they don't want to work with you, but it's not true. I had a client who came to me where she did a pitch for someone and the person was like, all right, great. Send me the proposal in email. And she called me crying. She was really sad. She was just like, man, they didn't buy. And I said, girl, what? They said, send the proposal. Girl, you need to map out a follow-up strategy. So I sent her my proposal that I typically send to people who ask that. And then I have a follow-up strategy on top of that. And let me tell you, I used to be the person where I didn't like following up because I felt like I am chasing them. I'm annoying them. I'm bothering them. But I had gotten a new client who told me she followed up with someone for 6 months before they converted. That spoke volumes to me. I said, who am I to think I could follow up 3 times and that's it? When she did it for 6, and that was a high ticket client that she was able to convert. So I shifted my mind to, I'm going to just keep following up. I don't care if it takes a year because sometimes it's not the right season for the person to work with you. And then sometimes they may not be ready yet. So like I had a client, her name is Elena. She's a health coach. When we first met, she hadn't started her business yet. But 3 months later, she started her business. I was the first one she thought about because I was top of mind. That follow-up allows you to be top of mind. Yeah. I've gotten jobs because I followed up even after they told me that we're not going to hire you. We're going to hire someone else. I've gotten jobs from that. So I think sometimes we think that we are chasing the person or we're fiending. And it's like, you're not fiending. You are honestly just building a relationship. Sometimes it's a no right now in this season, but the next season they come back ready to buy, honey, ready to buy.
And I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay. Multiply with Marion says, what do y'all use for brain dumping so your chat doesn't become cluttered with ideas?
What do you mean?
I don't know. That doesn't happen to me. What do you mean? Because I use different chats for my chat. Like I don't put everything all in one chat.
Okay, now I understand. So ChatGPT.
Yeah. So that she's talking about ChatGPT.
I use a different chat based off of what I need. Like I just use chat to look up some packaging for somebody just now. Mm-hmm. So like I wouldn't put that in my Mr. Beast one or my boot camp stuff, I would just start a whole nother chat.
Yeah, if I could, I would share my screen and show you what my chat looks like. But I have like a trillion million chats, right? And I have
The unsubscribe or die.
my shadow screen. That's hilarious. Okay, that's a new one. That needs to be on a shirt. Follow up with them until they unsubscribe or die. Okay, because there's no excuses. There's no excuses. I have maybe 3 clients that I'm doing the work for them. They each have their own tab. I will not put all of it in the same tab. That would make sense. And then I have a tab specifically for viral hooks. Like that. That's what it's called, viral hooks. Then I have a tab that's specific for YouTube descriptions. I don't use my viral hooks tab for my YouTube description. So my chat doesn't get stuck because I have different tabs. But let me share this with you though. So one time I went into one of my tabs and I was like, okay, give me some hooks about no. It was something about emails. So I was like, give me some great subject lines for emails. It was giving me the wackest subject lines ever. And I was just like, Chat, what is wrong with you? Are you off today? These are not what I asked you for. And so then I asked Chat, and Chat's like, I'm sorry. And it's still giving me whack subject lines. So I'm like, do you remember when you did the analysis of my emails and said that these subject lines work the best? And Chat was like, no, I don't have any recollection of that. And then yes, I was like, what? But then I looked down and I saw that I was in the wrong channel. I was in the wrong chat. And I said, oh, my bad. And I went to the right chat. And then I asked the same question. Do you recall going through my emails and giving me analysis of my subject lines? And he said, yes, I do. And then I went in there and said, okay, give me some subject line. And that taught me a valuable lesson.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't talk to each other, but it doesn't. Like whatever you put in one chat is not recorded in the next chat. And so like I'm very like clear. This is for this, this is for this, this is for this. Because chat's very clear. We did not work on that in this chat. We worked on something totally different.
Yeah. Even when I've made GPTs, I would tell the GPT in like the instruction phase of it. GPT is basically ChatGPT, but you can program it to be very specific. It's an app that you can allow other people to use. So I have quite a few of them that I've made and played around with it, and usually I'll give it to my students. But like when I made one in the past that was more so for Pinterest, I would say you don't learn Instagram, you don't learn any other thing. Pinterest. If they ask you any other thing, nope, I can't help you with that. Bring them on back to Pinterest. So yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. It's just like being super specific. Like, this is what it is. Okay, Multiply with Marion said, got it. I don't want to use too many systems, but I think about a million different ideas. So I guess that's the problem. I need to close the tabs in my head and focus on one goal at a time. Son, that was a whole prophetic word.
Yeah.
That was a whole prophetic word. Like, close the tabs in my head and focus on one goal. So for you, Multiply with Miriam, I would actually just write everything down. And then I would choose one to focus on in this season, right? So there's a scripture that says there's a season for everything under the sun, right? And so God does give us lots of ideas. You should have that because the goal is to be fruitful and multiply. Only thing is you can't plant so many seeds in one season because you're going to be split in different directions. Each one requires a different type of nurturing. So what I did, like for me, everything I do is leading me to have my own talk show. Like that's what I truly desire. Open up my own production studio, have my own talk show, right? But there was a part of me that felt torn, like I should go back into working in television. And I just kept thinking like my business was going to lead me there. It probably would, right? But last May, I had to make a decision to let that go just for this season and only focus on building my business. It was the hardest thing ever because I felt like I was losing a part of me. But God was showing me like, you're not losing a part of you. You're actually gaining something. And when I decided to go all in my business, I mean, that thing took off. Like it just like I took off. Right. I no longer had to feel split in my emotions, in my soul. It was just like, this is my main focus. And I promise you, God's going to open doors in this. And I'm going to be like, oh my goodness, this led me here. So same thing with you. You get to choose, right? If you want to pray on it, you can. But I will recommend don't sit there waiting for God to be like, do this. All right. That's just not how he works. I mean, he could, but I wouldn't wait for that. You can actually choose because he made you an intelligent being. And as intelligent beings, you can make your own decision and he will bless it. Quonda, did you want to add anything?
No, I think you handled that fine.
That was funny. That was funny. Okay, so we are going to wrap up. I don't see any more questions inside the chat. Again, if you wanted to book a one-on-one with Quonda, the link is actually in the chat right here so that you can get access to it. And then if you wanted to join the Convert Content to Cash Challenge, the link is right here in the chat so that you can get access to it. I'll also make sure that I go back and put it in the description because I be forgetting. And I forget to put in the comments too, but you can hold me to it. I'll actually do it this time. And we'll be back again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about AI and wealth. I don't have the exact topic, but we'll be talking about AI and wealth. So you all have a great day.
And it'll be July, right? Next Tuesday?
It's July 1st.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is. All right. Bye,
Her name
y'all.
is Star. Somebody in the comments asked.
Oh, I was like, why would you say that?
No, in the comments.
My bad. I was scrolled all the way up. I couldn't see nothing. Okay, let me just actually hide that. I feel like I said bye three times, so I'm just gonna end the stream.